guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
Hello everyone and welcome. Welcome to Geek Anime channel. I'm your detective host Igor and I'm so excited and I just can't hide it because Severance is coming back and it's coming back very soon. Right now we have some new promotional materials from Vanity Fair and those pictures are amazing. I'll find some interesting information for you. But what is the most important thing here? Usually after those images we are getting some kind of a trailer. So fingers crossed, and soon there's gonna be even more videos on Severance. Now, before I begin as usual, I want to thank everyone who supports me on Patreon and on YouTube. Your donations is what make this channel possible. And I want to welcome a new member, Motivator Alessandro Donadoni. Oh my god, that's an amazing name. Thank you so much for joining this small community. Now, let's dive in. So first of all, I want to begin with the less obvious things, more of a theme images. There are no small tiny details here that we can use in order to deduce some new information, but there is just something that we as fans can appreciate. And here the image of Mark with, the two different backgrounds, half of it is red, half of it is blue, even though it's the same background, but the two very different in temperature colors. The red one is the hot one, obviously, the blue one is obviously the cold one. So the duality of two personalities being in one person is kind of clear here. The same thing here with the image of Hailey R. Like she's looking at the window. This is obviously her outie. If it wasn't some another shenanigans from their part, when they switched off their outie to their innie. And once again we have her like looking at the window, seeing her own reflection. Once again the duality theme, something that we as fans can appreciate. Now here is something that kind of made me scratch my head. I mean, Severance, the whole process of Severance, it's kind of a sketchy, moral-wise. But seeing a kid here who's like, what, on a field trip, visit your parent on a work day or something like this, or it's a severed kid already. And if it's a severed kid, this is already a new level of rock bottom for Lumon employers. I try to understand what is going on here. What is this badge? It looks like a black badge. I haven't seen this one before, or maybe I just don't remember. I have to rewatch the first 9 episodes before we're gonna start the new season, and I'm definitely gonna do some deep dive analysis on each and every one of the episodes. I try to understand what is this logo here on the back. Maybe it was Lumon, maybe it's not. Once again, not a big expert on bags. Yeah, as you probably can understand it by yourself. So here we have, Gwendolyn Christie playing a new character and she's holding a cowbell. I mean, cowbell. Think about one of the main characters here in the show, who is being played by Christopher Walken, and now we have Gwendolyn Christie here holding a cowbell. I mean, they are torturing me here.
That it doesn't work for me. I gotta have more cowbell.
Look, Severance, obviously not a comedy show, but Ben Stiller comes from the comedy world, and I'm pretty sure, I'm like 100% positive, they know exactly what we're gonna think about when we see a cowbell in a TV show that features Christopher Walken. I mean, this is one of the most legendary skits of Saturday Night Live, when it used to be funny. But let's get back to our topic, like she is holding a cowbell, okay? So we remember there was one moment when there was some weird dude who was feeding a goat. So maybe there's another livestock here in this place, or maybe she's just trying to get some attention from everybody else. She's wearing like a bright green badge. We've seen something similar in the R&D department, but maybe the same department that handles the animals here also having like a similar badge. I don't know, like especially like look at her hair. She's wearing this kind of thingy that usually like the people that work on the farm wear, so maybe there is something here. Anyway, we're moving forward, and like I never thought about it, but like Miss Cowbell, once again Cowbell was like its prime use was of course like to get attention of the livestock, to gather them around before it became a musical instrument. So like we have Mrs. Cowbell, the one who's supposed to take care of the livestock of Lumon. When I'm saying livestock, I'm talking about our employees, Mark and the rest. So maybe once again it's some kind of a wordplay here. So no, once again, no tiny details here. But what is interesting in this moment, look at Hailey R and on Mark. with the usual blue badges, they are wearing something new, like something tiny here. Once again, even though the quality of the images are pretty good, when you zoom in so much, it's hard to understand what is going on here, but maybe they have some kind of a new clearance, because there's gonna be some big changes in this place. I mean, look here, look at this moment. We have here Dylan talking to Irwin. Irwin is holding a missing poster of Mark's wife. Probably they don't really know, or maybe they know already yet, but what is most interesting here is this caricature of Dylan here holding something together, like he's holding two doors or something similar to that. Obviously, this is one of the biggest moments of the season finale of the first season, when he was holding the button and he was holding the door, not letting Mr. Milchick inside. And then look at this behind the scene image. We have here this kind of a poster already from Lumon. You can see the logo here, and somebody is holding, like, you know, like a Heracles or something like this. He's holding two doors. So I think instead of like denying that something happened in season 1, Lumon administration, like Mr. Milchick and everybody who is above him, they decided to make this a legendary event, to give its own like interpretation, to explain it as a part of Lumon lore, making, you know, Dylan some kind of a hero, some kind of an example, trying to explain this event like it was done in their favor. So yeah, this is gonna be very, very interesting. So here we have a moment of Mark. This is obviously his head here, and he's talking to his sister. Like, we're gonna see the fallout of him screaming she's alive, and we know already that his sister started to dig in a little bit on Lumon and their severance process when she started to suspect that this rich lady that was given birth with her probably made a severance. Like, you know, like giving birth is not very fun, and if you can send your outie or innie to do it instead of you, good job, you know, worth the money. So yeah, no details here. Once again, we're just moving forward. Also, Mr. Milchick holding some kind of a note. He's obviously angry, and we know that our heroes are not gonna just sit around and wait for something to happen. They're gonna start something new. They're gonna look for new ways to get out, to get some messages to their outies, and so on and so on and so on. So maybe this is some kind of a like a message that they were sending one to another. Once again, I try to zoom in. It's obviously some kind of a handwriting, but once again, it's pretty impossible to understand what's written there. So this moment kind of made me scratch my head. As you can hear from my accent, I have some Ukrainian roots. I was born in Ukraine and I lived there until the age of 10. So when I see those kind of heads, I immediately think of the motherland, because like this is something that people used to wear there. Now, I'm not 100% sure that they're in Russia, probably not, but if you remember, Mark's wife was a professor of Russian literature, and she gave him like this present of a watch with a red star. This is a famous watch in USSR, by the way. My father had one and he was very proud of it, and like looking at them here, I can see some influence once again from Soviet Union, but you know, like probably it's nothing, but once again, if I notice something, I share. So this is not much information. I usually do way longer videos, but when there is something about Severance, I just cannot skip it. I have to share my excitement with you, and I want to share every little detail that I was able to find. And if you enjoy this kind of content, you can feel free to subscribe right now, because as soon as I'm gonna have some kind of an opportunity, just a reason to make more videos on Severance, I'm definitely gonna do it. Soon we're gonna have season 2, and the same as I did with From, I'm gonna do the rewatch of all of the 9 episodes, and I'm gonna do a deep dive analysis in each and every one of them before we begin season 2. And we're gonna dive deep and we're gonna find some answers and some interesting information. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm gonna see you on the next one. Bye!